A bizarre New Year's Eve tragedy in Ukraine has led to an unpleasant international incident, at the root of which is the bitter and churning struggle between the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Kyiv Patriarchate and the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchate. On New Year's Eve in Zaporizhzhia, a 39-year-old man jumped from an apartment building in a suicide attempt. He landed on a 2-year-old boy, thereby crushing and killing him. Subsequently, at the funeral of the little boy, the priest called in by the funeral services to preside over the event shocked those in attendance by refusing, right then and there, to perform the funeral rites, even as the grief-stricken parents begged and pleaded with him. The priest was acting on the premise that the child had been christened in the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Kyiv Patriarchate, while he, that is, the priest, was a representative of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchate. And since the Moscow Patriarchate does not recognize the Kyiv Patriarchate, this child was considered to be unbaptized and unfit for Christian burial. Eventually, a priest of the Kyiv Patriarchate had to be rushed in by the parents from the other end of the city to perform the child's funeral rites. Widespread reaction soon followed in social media, and not only in Zaporizhzhia, but all over Ukraine. Lay people, as well as representatives of various Ukrainian churches, condemned as inhumane the priest's refusal to perform the solemn funeral rites.
Позиція нашої церкви однозначна, що такі дії є неприпустимими. Вчинок цей, він не те, що не християнський. Я вважаю, що це не по-людськи.
Це не момент, коли потрібно виясняти, як то сказати, конфесії, патріархати, канонічність, неканонічність. Тобто момент похорону, цей момент трагедії, момент болю. І потрібно просто, співчуваючи батькам, які зазнали ось такої втрати, просто справді йти на зустріч, тобто бути, як то співстраждати.
At the same time, a metropolitan of the Moscow Patriarchate defended the priest's decision, justifying it as being in accordance with the requirements of canon law, which, as he says, must not be violated even on moral or compassionate grounds.
Отношение морали или сегодняшнего человеческого мнения и канонов церкви – это несоизмеримые понятия. Это совершенно как притягивать законы механики, ньютоновской механики, к законам квантовой физики.
Unfortunately, many violent incidents have been occurring throughout Ukraine as a result of this one incident in Zaporizhzhia. In the meantime, the residents of Zaporizhzhia, in a symbolic protest, have been laying toys at the doors of churches of the Moscow Patriarchate. In one instance, however, a violent conflict allegedly erupted between two Ukrainian army veterans bringing toys to the church in Zaporizhzhia and representatives of the militant group the Radomir Orthodox Union, which supports and protects the Moscow Patriarchate Church in Zaporizhzhia. As a result of this violence, and in reaction to the apparent anti-Ukrainian policies of the Moscow Patriarchate Church Zaporizhzhia Eparchy, the Security Service of Ukraine in the Zaporizhzhia Oblast has opened a criminal investigation against representatives of the Zaporizhzhia Eparchy and the Radomir Orthodox Union for quote-unquote inciting national and religious hatred and other offenses. And another unpleasant incident occurred in relation to this whole affair. Father Anatoly of the Moscow Patriarchate Church in Zaporizhzhia, who spoke out in favor of the dead boy's parents and has in the past determinedly conducted church services in what he calls the state language, that is Ukrainian, has been now forbidden to serve as priest in the Moscow Patriarchate Church until such time as he, quote-unquote, repents for his actions.
У нас на престолі лежить Євангеліє, де написано про любов. І можна було відспівати ту дитину, і можна було просто поспілкуватися, або просто по-людськи віднестися до тих людей.
I'm Tanya Stech, and this was Ukraine in the News.
Канал 1+1 тепер доступний на Bell International Programming.